this is what she ends up having to deal with, and it's something
like Hans just did.
So
So Zonia,
this is why I'm going to ask charitability.
If I could show an explicit, like,
Vivian wants to constantly shit on people, but when people shit on Vivian, then it's unfair. That's
well, she gets pissed off and then she reacts.
Yeah, I mean,
she's the one who starts it. She's the one who
started. We all get angry.
Our past drama. She brought up our past interpersonal drama, and I responded by bringing up our past interpersonal drama against her. That's what happened.
What
That's what
past interpersonal drama did you bring up against me? I feel like our past interpersonal drama can only reflect badly on you.
I'm just asking for
Zonia never got a chance to finish her thought. Zonia never got a chance to finish her thought.
What are you talking about dick pictures?
Look. Okay, everyone stop. Right. Okay.
Who said...
Listen, right?
I told you not to talk about my dick, okay? That's what I said.
What the fuck are you... No, that's not what I was talking... I was talking about the drama we had on our Relevance stream. Fucking hell.
And I don't care about that. That was so fucking inane and pointless and stupid. It was just literally memes.
It was quite a big deal.
It was a big deal.
It wasn't even remotely a big deal.
I'm sorry. I don't think Zonia got a chance to finish her point.
For fuck's sake.
Look, if we want this to be productive, we need to be a little bit more charitable and not attack her as quickly. And Viv,
or not want to deplatform people for things they haven't said.
Hans, you're getting muted. I've had enough.
It's really Hans asked that question, right? And I feel like he's pissed off because he didn't get an answer. I think it's very reasonable, right? If I stood on the fucking street corner every day and started fucking screaming the N-word at people, right? If I did that every day for fucking 10 years and then I came on Twitch and just started making arguments about how I want to like maybe restrict some immigration or whatever, but never denounce those views, and you asked me blatantly to my face, like, do I still think that way about black people? And I was like, you know what? I haven't said that. Right, like I feel like it would be super fucking reasonable to say, yeah, Viv's fucking racist. Like I feel like that would be super fucking reasonable. Okay, so I just don't think that the standard that you're fucking holding is remotely viable.
No, Viv, I'm totally fine holding you to the standard that if you're willing to ban people for things they haven't said on this platform because you think they still believe it, I'm fine wanting you to be banned as well because you have like positions that I believe are against TOS that I'd be comfortable.
I mean,
banning
you don't. I mean, you very likely don't know what my positions are. Because
I know you're very okay with political violence, Viv.
I mean, sure, in self-defense,
right,
and most people are okay with political violence.
Yes.
As long as it's perpetrated by the state.
We are not the same. Oh my god, those are not the same.
You've literally said.
Zonia didn't get to finish the point.
You have done things and...
Muted. Dario's muted. Who else is getting muted? That's a warning shot, okay? That's a fucking warning shot, right? Across the top of your heads. Right. Queen Janie, you go, and then Destiny's in the call now, then Destiny goes. Go.
What happened to... I seriously just think, like, this conversation is going around in circles because everybody's pissed off at each other already, and everyone's, like, so quick to just jump on whatever Viv says, and it's sort of becoming, like, a bit of a pile-on, and we're not really going to make any ground, like, we're not going to make any road, or whatever the saying is. I think that Twitch hasn't really got much more reactionary. I mean, I remember back in the day when Destiny was like debating Nazis and shit. Like, that was all on Twitch. And I remember like so many far-right people, like Gamergate era, the amount of shit that went on in those times, like way more reactionary than it is now. I think the issue can be within the Twitch politics space is that, yeah, drama is more profitable and everyone sort of is quick to stray into that because like people want to get their bag or whatever. And like, that's fine. But I think as well, it's like you've got a responsibility to a degree, or at least I think it's like morally better if you are also engaging in some form of activism, whether that be by doing research streams or by actually doing something in real life and mobilizing your audience to get involved with that. So obviously like Vosh, Destiny, other people have done that. And I just think that everybody yelling at each other is not really going to do anything beneficial. So that's my main point. Just stop fucking shouting.
Okay, well, if now obviously
I am doing a COVID test while I'm literally on this call because I think I've got COVID. So
if we want to avoid shouting, shut the fuck up, Dari. If we want to avoid shouting, I've got just the man who can help us avoid all of that, and that is of course Destiny. Destiny, go on.
Good, Destiny.
Run while you can, Destiny.
Listen, I only shout when people shout at me. Okay. How are you doing, everyone, today? We all feeling okay?
Hey, yeah.
I just
It's
reached
a
Diamond.
delightful bank
League,
holiday.
Destiny.
I'm doing great.
Yeah, Destiny, I hit diamond before you.
TF
And
doesn't
too,
count.
Destiny.
Okay? Stop.
It does count.
It does count.
Can we just not call everybody fascist? Can we stop this? I think that if there are people we want to bring on this platform,
just
and we
slinging
wanna...
it around randomly, actually, not at anybody.
Wait, let Destiny speak.
I think that if we want to bring people onto this platform and debate them, I think that's a cool
You've
thing.
walked
I
into
think we
hell,
should absolutely
Daniel.
do that. I think it is a morally righteous thing. I think it is easily defensible. If we start to see a huge fascist movement growing on Twitch, I think that's something to pay attention to. But right now, the biggest toxicity on this platform easily comes from far left people, and nobody talks about deplatforming them. So I think we're super cool to have arguments with people on the right. I don't think there are any fucking fascist viewers here. No offense, but I don't even know if anyone in this conversation knows what a fucking fascist is, despite throwing it around all the time. I think it's okay. I think we're gonna be okay having these types of conversations.
I think you know that I know exactly what a fascist is because we had that whole fucking conversation with Fosh and I defined it really, really fucking clearly, Destiny. So you continuing to fucking say this about me?
Wait.
right?
Why do you think I was...
Wait, Destiny didn't say anything about you.
No, wait. Why do you think I was indicting you with that statement?
Because you said, I don't think anybody in this call knows what a fascist is.
Well, maybe you could have been, right? Kind of like when you made that tweet about how we were bringing on fascists to the platform that included a picture of me, and you said it actually wasn't about me, it was just about everybody else in the call.
I
mean, there was one openly identifying fucking fascist.
Wait, which one?
Brittany Venti.
Does she openly No
she
offense.
She calls
Vivian,
herself.
I don't know if you've listened to any of Brittany Venti's stuff, but I don't know if she's smart enough to even have that political label. Okay?
I agree, but she uses the label, and she's definitely done some fucking insane, unhinged shit that wouldn't be like out of character for.
Can you give me one example of something she's done that's fascist?
Sorry. Complicated conversation.
Yeah, like
you
what
said that one was transphobic.
Done a thing that is fascist. Like you will be aware, right, from our previous conversation.
Wait, stop. Hold on. You're about to say a whole bunch of shit I don't care about. Can you give me like one characterization of her that would mean that she might be fascist?
Yeah, she calls herself a fascist.
That's it. That's all you have.
I mean, that's usually a pretty good indicator, but then followed up by the fucking like African mud cooking show.
I'm a fascist too. Am I a fascist now because I'm on record saying it?
What an inane, stupid fucking argument.
Exactly, I agree. Okay, so what's the so let's so Brittany Venti is like maybe
stupid argument, and you know it too.
No. This is the whole point. Brittany Venti is probably racist a little bit, or maybe based on what I've seen in the past, but fascist. I don't think she has I don't think she has the political knowledge to be fascist. Like that's
sure, and I think that whilst being incredibly fucking stupid, you can also like identify with a particular political movement and take actions in support of that movement. And
there are no major political movements right now that are fascist in the United States. So I don't know what you're talking about.
But
I mean, I don't know if that's true. I think we could possibly I think we could reasonably say that like Christian nationalism, for example, is one of the biggest fucking fascist threats in the United States. I think we could see that with January 6th when we were when the Proud Boys were being hailed as God's soldiers as they attempted to undermine the democratic process, right? I think you can see that with the core conspiracy theory.
Can one of my mods give VIP to No Justice, please? Thanks.
Another fucking extension and reincarnation of that. I think the idea that there isn't any kind of fascist movement in the United States would be like it's inane to even assert. The vast majority of like academics who study the fucking subject would disagree with you like drastically.
That first of all, every single time a leftist has told me an academic would disagree with me, when I bring on people that work in these fields, all of them say that people like you are absolutely batshit insane. I've never had an academic come on and ever affirm any of these things. So if you can find one, feel free to shoot them my way.
How about have you? Because I have my email exchange with like Robert Paxton, for example, in which because he was one of those people who studied fascism in fucking depth, right? And is considered one of the most foremost scholars on it. And in the early years of the Trump presidency, was extraordinarily reluctant to describe Trump as being fascist, and the Trump movement as being fascist. And over time came to the conclusion that it was time to start recognizing the rise of fascism in the United States. So
Yeah, I was.
I mean, that's
that's
probably one of the most important scholars on fascism.
Wow.
There's a lot of them, but like he's definitely one of the most important and influential scholars on fascism.
Yeah.
I don't want to like dominate the conversation. Does anybody want to say anything or?
I very much do. I wanted to. The reason I came in here in the first place was to have a discussion in regards to the comments about Lauren Souther being a fascist because she didn't avow some of the things that were fascist that she said in the past. In your opinion, I just wanted to state pretty plainly a couple of things. So one, in regards to the panel, to my knowledge, she wasn't at the very least the person that was set up the panel, like actually in the thing. I don't know. Maybe she was actually it was the person who kicked Hawes twice. They were in control of it. I don't know if they were doing it or if they were just the one that set it up, or I don't know. But
you mean the panel with all the women or whatever?
Yeah, and then Hawes
stupid fucking
bitches. That was Jesus Christ. I believe that was Lauren's panel. I think that was hers. Even though I think
was her
Ashton,
panel.
I think Ashton had control over who was where, but I think it was Lauren's panel. That's my understanding.
Okay.
Yeah,
So yeah, all right. Because I just didn't know, and I didn't know if anybody in here knew. But anyway, on top of that, so you said previously that like a big telling of like her being possibly fascist was her having Brittany Venti on her panel, right? I don't
I mean, it was
think
just
that's
one small piece of evidence.
Okay, so
like,
would you? It's a little bit weird now that he's in the room, but I was going to ask you, what about like Destiny having a conversation with Eric Stryker? Would you say that makes Destiny? Would you say that makes Destiny a fascist?
I mean, this will be the third time now that I've said that like there was more to that statement, right? Like as a friend, supportive, not pushing back on, right? Like, I think if you have somebody on your panel who is a fascist and you're like arguing against their fascist positions, obviously, like I can't, like that's not like an indication that you yourself are a fascist, and it's kind of insulting to me that you would ask that question because like it's obvious.
Okay, I'm just asking simple questions. So, like the next question
I don't know,
now
it just feels kind of bad faith. That's all I'm saying.
But maybe he doesn't.
All right. Okay. There's just follow-up questions. I'm just asking you one question leading to another. So, like, let's say that I'm post hippy dippy panel after me discussing going at Big Papa Fascist and Neck. After the panel, we have a post situation kind of similar to like let's say Prime stuff where you can just hang out afterwards. If I'm hanging out and being friendly with Big Papa Fascist, does that make me a fascist?
But it won't be bad.
What?
Like if you're shooting the shit with somebody, like after like a heated debate.
Yep, and I'm just hanging out with Big Papa Fascists. We're chilling, talking about
tolerating fascists doesn't make you a fascist. It just makes you a useful fucking idiot.
So how do you discern whether or not somebody's tolerating them when they're shooting the shit, hanging out, playing video games, talking about video games, talking about real life stuff, versus having them on just hang out on a panel like what Lauren Southern did?
I don't know. Maybe a long history of being part of the same fascist fucking movement.
And you believe that history then means that Lauren Southern is a fascist because she had somebody who had a previous political position to her on a panel with her.
I said that was like one indicator. Yeah, it's not like, hey, this is conclusive evidence that Lauren is like, Lauren is definitely 100% secret fascist.
So yeah, the big rule that I'd like to run with is like, so for instance, let's say Lauren Southern was in the chat right now and came in and was like, okay, give me the evidence that you have that proves that I'm a fascist.
I mean, I would literally just leave. I will never share a platform with that fucking scum.
Can we, when we do
this is hypothetical, Viv, but this is a hypothetical, I think.
Why can't we just like push back against the actual arguments people make instead of just trying to like label them something and walk away? Why? Like it's so lazy.
Well, hold on, Destiny. Do you believe that if someone declares himself to be a fascist that we can probably assume they're a fascist, or do you think that's unethical?
No, that's like such a stupid way. It's actually mind-blowing to me that somebody would think that like a self-ID is a valid way of figuring out like the political positions of somebody. Like only somebody that doesn't understand any political positions would say something like that. People can self-ID incorrectly all the time, and it really doesn't give us a good... Like lots of people they'll call themselves sock dems, but they're actually like way more liberal than they are. Or they'll call themselves sock dems, and they're actually closer to dem socks. So no, like or somebody might call themselves a fascist for a variety of reasons. I don't know. No, I would never go by a self-ID. If I'm going to ascribe a political label to somebody, it's because they share several tenets with that ideology.
Yeah.
So I hate it when like people will try to find like one or two things like, oh, that person's a fascist. Like there are probably aspects of fascism that literally all of us here might agree with. You could argue theoretically that the state mobilizing like the CDC to enforce like vaccine mandates could be in a way like an aspect of fascism potentially. So just like trying to find one or two positions somebody has, oh, they're anti-immigrant and they're racist. That's a fascist.
Even I'm not
it's such
sure
a lazy way.
anymore,
Like, well, if they're anti-immigrant, argue about anti-immigration. If they're
like,
racist, argue about racism. But don't just try to like label somebody as a fascist and then think you can walk away because your work here is done. It's so lazy
anymore.
Yeah,
So-
I agree with
So
that.
you think? Wait. So you think it? So I'm just trying to understand your position. So do you think it was bad when like academics, because there were some who like called Trump fascist? Do you think like that was a bad thing? I'm trying to like understand.
When you ask me if it's a bad thing, there's two different ways you can look at it. In terms of like
Okay, unethical.
No, hold on. That's not what I mean. When I mean, so when we say like, is it bad? We could talk about like public perception of something being bad, or like in an academic sense, is it bad? Academically, Trump wasn't technically a fascist because the institutions wouldn't allow him to be so. But if he wanted to be, he probably would be. Sure, probably. But even at that point, my argument against Trump isn't going to be like, you shouldn't like Trump because he's a fascist. Like that's not an argument. That's you're just describing.
Well, no, I would agree on that.
Yeah, so you go forward and then you argue against like the individual actions or positions he takes. You say, well, this is what he did and this is why it's wrong.
Okay. I can.
Yeah,
I can
so-
get aboard with that.
So my whole point of bringing that up was just like, if I'm not saying that like you have to in this hypothetical stay in the room, Vivian, with Lauren Southern. It's that, what do you think would be the most convincing argument you could give right in that moment where everybody, the heat is on, Lauren's in the room, everybody's looking at you for the big bullet, the silver bullet to take her down. How is she a fascist? Can you give me that? What is the silver bullet?
I think it would be unreasonable and silly to like hold the standards that like somebody who has made their career like being a fascist, promoting fascist organizations like Generation Identity and so on, right? Working for a fascist propagandist channel in Blaze TV, right? That somebody who's like done that for their entire fucking life comes on Twitch and then just goes and like doesn't denounce those views, right? Doesn't say like, no, I don't hold any of those views anymore, right?
Wait, just so I understand, you said Blaze TV is a fascist news outlet?
Yeah, I think it was Blaze TV, right? That she was working for so fucking long.
Okay.
Definitely associated with
I
the
think
source of the
Kate
alt-right.
Hopkins.
Yeah, I mean, very much promoting.
I thought they were like center right, far right,
like a shitload of
like Crowder, Rubin, Glenn Beck. It's not fascist. Sorry, I was being charitable to you, but you know, it's not fascist. Sorry, keep going. Done.
Okay, cool. I think you can look at her fucking life's work. So she took a year off after being attacked by Gavin McInnes and losing a bunch of fucking friends or whatever. I'm pretty sure that was how that shit went down. And then
Chad is saying Rebel Media, by the way, which
Rebel
definitely
Media,
is
was it
strongly
Rebel?
fascist.
Yeah, sorry, I might have got those two mixed up.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of as well.
Yeah, my bad. Rebel Media.
My head is pounding.
Fucking. I think fuck me. So many distractions. You look at her life's work. She hasn't fucking denounced it or whatever. I would say the burden of proof is on her to say that she's no longer a fascist, right? And while she's still on the platform, contributing to narratives that support the fascist movement, I don't see any reason to believe that she's fucking changed, right?
I'm curious. So how do you stop?
I think there's enough people doing this argument right now, actually, Dario.
How do you prove that you're not a fascist in other ways than just not being a fascist?
You would have to take steps to like make to counteract the views that you previously held. There are a number of like formers that I speak with on a fairly fucking regular basis, who do take pains to like push back against the narratives that they used to promote, right? Whereas like that isn't the case for Lauren Southern. Like she she is directly contributing to those narratives, right? She's still doing the like transgender and mental illness, fucking immigration, a serious fucking problem.
Trans mental illness has nothing to do with
minority.
fascism. Immigration, serious problems, not anything to do with
I
fascism.
mean,
It's
if you
not-
don't understand, if you don't understand,
He
if
said
you
that she
don't
doesn't
un-
understand.
if you
Hold
don't,
on,
if you no, if
Wait,
you don't
wait,
understand the place of transphobia in the fascist movement, then you don't understand fascism.
So, mind if I jump in here real quick?
Go on,
I wanna
Jonya.
try
Go on,
and-
Jonya.
Okay, so I'm gonna attempt to try to like
It's
I don't know.
hard
I'm gonna
to get
try and
in, like,
steel
I
woman your
wanna
position,
talk,
Viv, but at
it's
the
so
same time I'm gonna
difficult.
disagree. Okay, so Viv, your original claim is that that
Blue
little by
Dolphins,
little we
my
have
friend.
introduced a conservative opinions,
Oh,
right wing
fuck me.
opinions, and it is allowed. It has allowed Twitch to become more reactionary, and then as we argued this whole
My
thing, we get
brain
down the line, and
hurts.
eventually, you bring up Lauren Southern as being on Twitch and
Also,
being
I'm
tolerated,
arguing with Cherry on
and
Twitter,
you're
if
saying
anyone didn't
that
know,
she
but-
is an example of this and is contributing to it. Now, what's being said right now is you're saying
I
that
don't know. I think you're tying a lot of like disparate conversations that we had into a
well,
single narrative.
I mean,
Like,
we got to it because
I-
of that.
Honestly,
You brought her
I
up
mean-
as an
might say
example
that
to
point 'cause
demonstrate
that's a good
that
point. Like,
we
that
have
left-wing
that we effectively
terms are
Twitch has become
confused
more
by the
right wing,
too.
right? As all the pushback happened.
I mean, I don't even know about like more right wing.
Well,
Fuck.
we
Like,
went from
more,
reactionary,
yeah,
and
more
it kept spiraling and becoming a rabbit hole, right?
Yeah, I think you can be like anti-progressive while still being sort of like centrist or whatever, right?
So-
I don't like the
What is
division
wrong
of
with me? Why
politics
do I
into
feel
left
so
and right
wrong?
anyway. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, I agree. But this is what I kind of observe with Lauren Southern.
I fainted like literally before I just started
I don't
streaming.
think that she contributes to like
I fell up the
fascism
stairs.
in
Spilled
Twitch.
hot
I think
chocolate
that
all
she
over the
has
wall.
socially conservative positions
Oh,
that
fuck.
other fascists also have, right? Fascists being
Sure,
very
yeah.
traditionalist. And as long as I agree that like having Brittany Venti on, that's a bad look, and it really kind of plays into a reputation that Lauren
Should we
Southern
take the COVID
already has,
test?
so it doesn't look good. And Brittany Venti is a serious problem. But
Dun, dun, dun,
as
dun.
far as I can
Truth? Do
tell,
I have
Lauren
COVID?
Southern is not
Or
actually
am I just
contributing
paranoid?
to fascism or the acceptance of fascism in
Let's
Twitch
find out.
politics, or even really contributing to reactionary ideology in
Sure,
Twitch
I mean,
politics.
I don't think that like straight up, out and out, fucking like white nationalism is ever going to be an accepted position on Twitch politics, simply because the vast majority of people who would promote that wouldn't be able to stop themselves from screaming the N word. Like,
So-
they would just get like TOS'd out of the fucking arena.
Okay, so perhaps we can kind of
my claim is definitely not that like, oh, all of a sudden Twitch is going to turn into like some fascist utopia, like,
So
and I've
maybe-
never intimated that.
what if we go down the path of trying to define the harm that you observe in Twitch politics? I know we kind of got there earlier, but then it got completely derailed when we went down this path. So maybe if we could kind of get back to that and define
Yeah,
the
that'd be
harm
good.
that you observe.
I mean, we spoke a lot about like fucking shit during the xenogender
It's like being back in
discourse,
school,
like
being nice.
we talked about like the harassment of marginalized people on the platform.
Me too.
We talked about the narratives that like center left people are willing to sometimes get behind
I like
and
how we got on
embrace,
a panel with Destiny and
but
Irrelevant and
definitely
everything,
sort
and we're
of
taking
like
a fucking
allowed to fly
COVID
by
test at the
without
same time.
objection.
Jeez.
Especially if it benefits them in their harassment of another individual that they have some personal
Oh my
fucking
God,
beef
Rachel, are
with,
you
because
fucking serious?
the personal beef shit is just everywhere and it's incredibly fucking petty and people let it control them.
So I definitely have observed some
Right.
harm.
We've got
Some
the
harm.
thingy
I'm
in
not
the
sure
end.
if that harm has increased significantly in the last couple years
Let's
with
stand
the
this up
adoption
somewhere
of
before
broader
we
range of
start
ideas.
sticking-
But like some of the harm that I've seen is a
Well,
lot
have to
of
stick the fucking
trans
thing up my
people in
nose.
this space having dealing with a lot of harassment, and sometimes that
I've got that
resulting in
stutter.
pretty extreme depression, sometimes even self-harm, But at the same time, I also observed that there are a lot more trans creators and prominent trans creators in the space than there were 2 years ago. So I'm not too sure if
Again, I don't know that that's the case. We touched on that earlier, right? In terms of like this particular insular Twitch poll space, like there are more trans people on Twitch for sure, right? But in terms of like the insular sort of like Twitch poll space, I'm not 100% sure that that's the case in terms of like prominent creators. I asked I forget who it was. I asked somebody to like name them, and we got Riverboat Jack, some person I haven't heard of, and I can't remember the name. Sorry,
sorry. I just
that's
no,
all
wait.
anecdotal. Like, do we have like metrics on this? Like in terms of like how many trans creators? Don't make these accusations that like these aren't safe unless we have like the actual numbers.
I mean, I literally said I don't know if that's the case, right?
Then why are you insinuating it?
Right, stop.
Insinuating what? If somebody makes a claim and I say I don't know if that's the case, right? What?
No. I'm not letting you run away from this.
I don't know if that's the case.
You very much said that it's becoming more reactionary. It's not as like safe. There's not as many prominent trans creators, and you don't have any evidence in regards to beyond this, like us not being able to name more than a couple, like off the top of our head. Like maybe there's a lot. Apparently there was like this entire like trans mask panel that happens on Twitch every fucking week. It's hosted by Brother Malcolm. Like there's there's like Bluebird. He's another person. Like I can start like I can like potentially list these things, but you're saying it's like an unsafe like place. And then when we're asking, all right, what's the actual evidence for this beyond like saying, oh, when like prompted, Chud can't name more than 3 trans creators. That feels extremely disingenuous. And now you're like, oh, I don't. Why are you asking this? It's because you're making the claim.
Brother Malcolm, Brother Malcolm, the prominent Twitch poll trans creator. Yeah, I know.
Now I want I want to just kind of I want us to sort of
and
be
all
able
those nameless people on that panel.
Let's on your ship in. Go on.
We're not really going to be able to go beyond anecdotes in a way here. So I think that
right.
we are going to have to kind of bring up anecdotes in order to solidify our position.
But solid fucking stats on like how many trans creators were in this loosely defined.
Right, hold on one second.
You're trying to make the claim that it's unsafe for trans people. Yes, the burden of evidence is on you.
It's just incredibly bad faith.
How is it bad faith to ask you for any evidence to support your position?
Okay, both of you chill for a second.
That I don't know if that's the case.
Let's on your speak.
We were exploring it, for fuck's sake, Hans.
In order for us to have a productive conversation here, we kind of need to define this harm that's being observed. And there's not really a way to come up with any solid numbers, but we can give examples from what we have observed. So that's what I'd like to do. That's the only way for us to really have anything to grapple with that we can even argue for or against, right? So we need to define that harm.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we got one of the people in the fucking in the panel now that's like helped drive like insane amounts of fucking harassment towards 2 trans creators. I think the way that Destiny's dealt with both Demon Mama and
most of that harassment, you guys either lie about it, or you dramatically over exaggerate it, or it's just normal harassment that everybody has, but you call it transphobia because it makes you feel better online.
Well, I don't know. I mean, after you called me,
I do know, because I go through the tweet mentions whenever people claim that I got so much transphobic hate, and there'll be like 30 people like Italian, and there'll be like 1 dipshit with 0 followers, like 2 followed, and it's like Nick Fuentes like random shit, and he'll be saying dumb shit. I block those accounts. The vast majority of the hate that trans people receive online that I engage with is just the normal kind of hate that everybody in politics engages with. But because you're trans, you like to weaponize your identity to attack other people online. You claim it's all transphobic. If you disagree with me, feel free to shoot me. I say this at the end of every conversation. Surprise, surprise. It hasn't happened. Feel free to shoot me. You said that I direct hate towards trans people, with the implication being that trans people receive some sort of special kind of hate. Anytime you do politics online, it's going to be...
I mean, trans people do receive a special kind of hate because, like, the hate that they receive. I allowed you to finish, right?
No, actually, you didn't. You cut me off. Go ahead.
The hate that they receive is going to take on the character of transphobia that won't happen towards other people.
No, a very small minority of it does.
Okay, but some of it will. Like, if they get a significant amount of harassment, some of that harassment will be transphobic harassment. But I don't care, right? I was literally just saying that, like, there is one person who's responsible with his rhetoric, right, for directing that directing harassment towards a couple of trans people,
Sure.
right?
The problem. No. Hold on. No, your language here is so sloppy.
The nature of that harassment as being transphobic or not is not something that I fucking even put into the fucking question.
No, but the implication is dripping from every single thing you say. Also, the phrase "directing harassment" is not an accurate phrase. Just because I engage with somebody publicly,
I think this person needs.
Come on,
I was interrupting.
Let's let
her finish. Go ahead.
Let me finish.
No, that's okay. I didn't want to interrupt her with my answer. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, if you're just gonna misrepresent shit throughout your answer, go ahead.
I'm not misrepresenting anything. I'm telling you that the phrase "directing harassment" implies that I'm literally tweeting something akin to "go harass this person." Okay, it's bullshit.
Did you not do that with Demon Mama?
My bad. It's insane that it's bullshit to me that I can get insane people like you directing insane personal attacks at me or crazy political labels at me, and then when I engage back, oh no, he's directing harassment towards me. If you want to claim that I quote unquote direct harassment towards somebody, that's fine, but all of you direct harassment at me anyway. It's all fair game then. Okay? That phrase directed harassment, just because I quote tweet somebody doesn't count as directed harassment. That's bullshit.
Okay, go harass this person. That would be directing harassment, right? Or
or if I'm literally or if I'm saying go get this person or whatever, that's
all gloves are off, go fuck up this person, basically, right? I can't remember the exact wording.
That's what most people would infer from that.
I don't know the exact wording you used towards Demon Mama, but you did basically say that, right?
Well, I don't. Are you talking about when I said I was gonna?
To everyone though, maybe.
No. Wait, no. You can't dilute that. Hold on. No, that's bullshit. Because the overall narrative is that every single time I quote tweet somebody, I'm engaging in targeted harassment.
That's not bullshit. The implication that I made.
You're a lying.
What did you say specifically about Demon Mama?
I think for something for Demon Mama, I said that I wasn't going to do cross-platform bans if they were going to keep personally slandering me. I think that's what I said, which is something that I went above and beyond for some people, and I decided to stop doing it. Because in my community, despite what any of the fucking morons in this call or anywhere else think, I try to go really far to make sure that people aren't harassing people off platform. So if somebody goes to one of your chats and they engage in transphobic behavior, I'll ban it from my Discord, my chat, my Twitch, and my YouTube. I do that for anybody. But I stopped doing it for Demon Mom because she would still constantly accuse me of transphobic. It's like, well, fuck you. I'm not going to extend this courtesy to you. And then that counts as targeted harassment, which is bullshit.
Okay. So the manner in which harassment is targeted towards people is when you use certain fucking rhetoric. I don't know, I could even
what words are acceptable?
Have this conversation in a
quote me a trans person.
I could have this.
Can we stop dogpiling?
This could be this could be a whole separate fucking discussion around how you can use your rhetoric as somebody with a large platform to, regardless of if you don't go harass this person, as a large content creator that person's going to suffer some kind of harassment based on what you say. And it's generally when you sort of essentialize that person as a bad person, right?
Then leave the space, then get the fuck out. Then leave. No. Hey, listen. If you're going to be involved in publicly attacking me, personal or otherwise, and then you don't like it when I respond, then get the fuck out of the space. You don't belong here. Okay? Because it's bullshit that you think that you can take your identities, weaponize the fuck out of them, and then make personal attacks or crazy political attacks towards me. And any form of engagement that I do back.
Is that what I'm doing?
That's what you.
Is that what I'm doing? Are you getting
Vivian? You're more delusional. Vivian, you are more delusional than I thought. If you're going to pretend that is not the constant characterization that is made of me every single fucking time I engage with somebody on Twitter. Okay,
I understand that. All right, and I would really, some of our recent interactions have shown me that you find it very, very fucking difficult to separate what one individual is saying to you from the broad array of narratives that are being pushed.
Wrong. The thing I find difficult is that on Twitter, this is crazy. You guys project so hard. People will say that I'm insane on Twitter, okay? But then when you have a conversation with me in real life, I'll defend every fucking tweet I make constantly. The problem is with people like you, when you make tweets and then I confront you, you run the fuck away from them so fast.
What have I run away from?
When you tweeted that picture of me on that panel and you're like, oh, look, fascists are on Twitch again, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, I didn't mean you, Desi. That was no implication to you whatsoever.
Clearly I didn't mean you and you knew I didn't mean you.
Thank you for the bits. I really appreciate it.
horseshit.
Of
Okay.
course, so
Like,
disingenuous.
the idea that I was fucking referring to you in that, when you
yeah.
know what my fucking definition of fascist is, you know that it doesn't fucking include you. When we've had long fucking conversations about what it is, right? The only thing that I can like marginally try and afford some fucking charitability towards you in that particular action of saying, oh, clearly Viv is calling me a fascist, right? Is what I literally just said, is your complete fucking inability to take people who are talking to you as individuals instead of a part of some collective that is perpetrating all these different fucking narratives about you. I have never, literally fucking never, called you a fascist, right? And I do not think that
Shut up, Dario.
I do not think that that label would be appropriate for you, and I would not encourage other people to use that label for you. Okay, if you want that explicitly fucking spelled out for you, feel free to ask me.
Okay,
At
do you
any
think that I
fucking
do you
point,
think
if
that
you
do you
want
think that I hang out do you think that I
say,
okay
feel free.
Okay, do you think that I hang out with fascists?
It depends on what you mean by.
The slam dunk. If you say Lauren Southern is a fascist, you should. That's an easy.
It's
fucking-
super easy. Hold on, just so you know, Vivian, when you hesitate to answer these questions, that's how I know that you're a bad faith.
I'm
so let me
not
ask
a
one more
bad faith
time.
piece of
Do you
shit.
think that I
No,
hang out
I'm
with
going to
fascists?
answer the question in my own fucking way, and you're not going to force me into like a yes or no answer, right? Because it depends on what you mean by hang out.
Yes or no
right?
question.
Shut the fuck up, Hans. It depends
please.
on what you mean by hang out, right? If you mean sit around, being pally with, I don't know, maybe the League of Legends stream with Lauren Southern was like a little bit hanging out with fascists. See, if you mean it, do I think that you get on panels and debate against them? Definitely, right? But I wouldn't.
What about the Kyosin panel like 2 nights ago where we're all just like joking around and shit? That counts as hanging out with fascists, right?
COVID test.
I didn't actually watch it, so I don't really know the
Okay, so
context.
I do hang out with fascists. Would you say that I promote fascists? Am I helping Lauren
think I just
Southern
have an
rehabilitate her
infection
image or
with
introduce her to new people? Would you say
That's
that I
why I
promote
thought shit.
fascists?
Have you helped Lauren Southern rehabilitate her image? I think
That's what everybody seemed to say.
You did a pretty. There's definitely some content you did with her where you were like talking to her about the like some of her past, and you allowed her to like basically bullshit her way through it.
Okay,
and
so is there any other person?
responsible.
Sure. So if there are other people, would you say that if I showed you somebody and I'm like, this person hangs out with fascists and he promotes fascists, are you honest to God going to tell us today that you'd be like, well, I don't think that person is a fascist?
No, because those are different things.
No, oh my God, the ultra nuance when it's convenient for you. Viv, you would call any other person in my position if you weren't confronted right now with it. You'd say, "Oh yeah, that person's 100% a fascist." They're probably just not being super vocal about it. Absolutely, guaranteed. Every single person listening.
No, I wouldn't because I'm like really, really careful with these categorizations.
You're not careful because earlier when I asked you about Brittany Venti, your only evidence was, well, she called herself a fascist, which is a joke.
I mean, if you want to, okay. So what I said was, right, she calls herself a fascist, right? She interacts with other fascists. She has placed herself as part of the movement. She's done things in public that suggest a fascist ideology, right? That suggest some aspects of a fascist ideology, right? And then, like, if you want to have a more nuanced discussion where there's like not shitloads of fucking people here constantly trying to like get their fucking word in, right? We can talk about how like somebody can be really fucking dumb,
I need a
identify
test,
with a movement
that
and take actions in
will tell me
furtherance
what's
of
wrong
that
with
movement
me,
that make
and
it
it's
them
not
a
just like
political
COVID, like
actor for that
everything.
movement,
Test for
right?
everything.
And somebody can act as a
once.
fascist in the world regardless of like what their internal beliefs are, whether they fully encompass the whole sphere of what like a fascist ideology is, right? Which, as you know,
What's wrong
I've
with
defined
you,
multiple
John?
times as like ultranationalism,
Flaggily help man dying.
ultranationalist, with a view to purifying the Volk, the chosen in-group of undesirables based on like immutable traits and sometimes religious sensibilities, such as in the case of Islam, right? I've said this a million fucking times.
Can I jump in for one quick second here?
Sure.
Very nice.
Didn't Vivian? Weren't you on record saying that the police, Blue Lives Matter stuff was fascist intrinsically because it promoted fascism?
I said it helps promote white supremacist narratives. I said it promotes
and that
white
makes
supremacy.
it. Okay.
White supremacy is not necessarily fascist.
Sure.
It's a core part of most Western fascist movements.
So why is promoting white supremacy make something white supremacist, but not promoting something fascist make something fascist?
I'm sorry, could you restate.
Okay, so
I'm not
earlier
sure I
Destiny was
understand.
saying in this hypothetical he'd be promoting a fascist in your mind, but he's not a fascist for doing that. So why is a white supremacist for just promoting white
I need
supremacy?
some ibuprofen, Jesus.
I mean, I don't really want to like go in and fucking relitigate the whole Blue Lives Matter thing. If you want to know,
Well, no,
like,
it doesn't
why
have to. We don't.
why I
we don't
said
have
You
to
don't have to
do
do that.
that.
You can just answer the
yeah,
question.
I don't want to.
So,
I don't want to have like a big fucking argument over it, right? But I would say that the core narratives that were like pushed by the people who like founded the Blue Lives Matter movement, right? I.e., that that black people didn't experience a disproportionate amount of police violence, would be pushing like a white supremacist narrative, right? That would be acting in
so no, no.
in
This
support of white
this
supremacy.
was the context was about Kyle Rittenhouse. Was the context? It's whether or not Kyle Rittenhouse was a white supremacist because he supported blue.
Don't be jealous, Pan. Honestly, I'm literally dying.
I said he acted in support of white supremacy, which is
And,
not the same. Which is not the
Guys, if you want to support my death and inevitable funeral costs, you can follow me and you can subscribe, or you can gift a subscription or use your Amazon Prime subscription, or alternatively, you can donate directly. Those funds will go to my funeral if I die of this COVID.
memes or
I don't even know if it's COVID yet. I'm making assumptions. We'll find out in half an hour.
Position on this, because I know we've personally had conversations where I've made the argument that we had a conversation about racism, supporting a racist idea doesn't necessarily make you racist. Promoting it doesn't necessarily make you racist. It has to do with whether or not you like personally support it and your intention beyond supporting it. And we had a big contention about whether or not intent matters and whether or not you're racist. Me and you have had two different debates on two different occasions. Would you say that then your position in
Thank you so much for the gifted sub. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
classifications, right? Racist, transphobic, when we're talking about a very specific kind of bigotry or whatever, I think it is super reasonable for you to see somebody doing something racist and call them a racist.
No,
right?
no, I'm sorry. Let's say promoting somebody who is racist. So, like, let's say that
is racist.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like more
in,
degrees of separation there, right? Like, it starts getting like a little bit grayer, for sure.
You play like League of Legends with somebody who's like a racist. Like,
stop! For fuck's sake! I'm trying to stop this becoming a dog pile. Okay? Can we just go one at a time?
I mean, if you have something,
it doesn't have to be a dog pile. She can just easily answer the question. We know she's dancing around it. She's just being a dishonest.
I'm not.
fuck.
I'm not dancing. I'm not dancing or being dishonest. Right?
Here's like a more direct question, Vivian. Do you still think I should be banned from Twitch for talking to people that are fascist?
Sorry, still. I've never thought that you should be banned from Twitch for speaking to people who are fascists.
Okay, can you explain what you meant when you said, I love many of you guys, but if you platform a Nazi or a fascist on Twitch, I'm going to report your stream and I'm going to encourage others to do the same. I'm sorry if you're a decent progressive.
And it's like,
you don't think it's about me?
Yeah, that was.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't have health insurance. This conversation is giving me cancer. Good luck.
Yeah,
Okay.
fine.
So,
that was specifically about the politically provoked stream. Yeah.
Well,
but it applies to everybody.
Early on, when
you're making a general statement about everybody who does this, right? You're not saying these people.
But it would also apply to Destiny under that definition. So I'd actually love to hear your answer to that question, if you might, because it would apply to Destiny if you still believe that.
Yeah, no, it specifically applied to the politically provoked stream at the time. I will. The thread was much longer than just that one post that, like, I assume Destiny got sent by like 20 fucking people or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I probably could have made myself like slightly clearer there. I was just like, it was a really fucking frustrating day. And I probably didn't word that as carefully as I should have done.
So it is your current. Sorry, my bad. I thought you were done. My bad.
No. Go ahead. And like, what's the question? So you're asking me my current position.
Mm-hmm. So it is your current position that promoting somebody who is racist or promoting somebody who is transphobic does not make you transphobic. Because
not
our
necessarily.
Big
I mean,
was,
you can be like a useful idiot for sure.
Like, our big contention that we had, the primary disagreement we had in our old racism conversation was whether or not doing something racist makes you a racist.
Yeah.
And my argument was doing a singular insulary racist action does not make you a racist. right? That
Sure,
you need to have
I
some
think I
measure of
said-
intent.
Sucks.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's fine. You
I
can
just
clarify.
assumed where you were going, and
Sure, it doesn't matter. Go for it.
Did you get your tests? Did you order them from the NHS online or through the government website? Because like I need to buy some more, but like I also can't be asked to go to the pharmacy, so I want them delivered. There's like none.
don't think that my position has changed on that at all.
So then, would you say I'm doing something racist if I promote somebody racist on my stream?
Yeah, like I said, I think you start getting slightly more degrees of separation there, right? You're not actively saying that you believe certain things that are racist or like deliberately doing a racism. You're sort of more vaguely contributing. I mean, you might not even be contributing, right? If you just have somebody racist on your stream, you might be pushing back to them to the degree that like it actually helps the anti-racist cause, right? So there's like varying degrees, sure, and I think there's a difference between somebody who's like doing a racism, if you like, acting as an agent of racism in the world, and somebody who is being unwittingly used by racists.
Well, what if they? So like, let's
like
bring a little bit. Yeah, let's bring a little bit of a more real world example.
Is what I'm
here.
saying, basically.
Sure.
It gets great.
Let's assume I have on Nick Fuentes tomorrow, and we're just playing video games. Would you say that I'm doing like a racism, or doing a bigotry, or doing a transphobia, or doing a fascism?
If you had Nick Fuentes on tomorrow and just sat around playing video games with him, I would say that you're normalizing. Like, I mean, I don't think it's unreasonable to call fucking Fuentes a Nazi at this point. With
Sure,
the
we could all agree with
fascism combined with anti-Semitism. I think, like, at least colloquially, it's reasonable to call somebody a Nazi at that point.
Okay.
I would say that you're facilitating the normalization of a Nazi, and that would be
like
really
talking
fucking bad.
about the racist shit though when you're hanging out, or is this just like a totally non-related thing? You're just chilling, talking as friends, nothing political.
Yeah, I mean that's what
you're just hanging out, you're vibing. Yeah, just playing video games. You're just vibing.
Now, I would ask though, do you think, Viv, that would be introducing harm to the space?
I was gonna ask.
Yeah, I think it's
sorry about that, Riley.
I think it probably would be overall. Yeah.
Okay, so but it's not like racist. I'm not doing an action that is racist or a fascist or I guess Nazistic, promotes Nazism. I'm not doing that action personally. By promoting them.
There's like a degree of separation, and intent starts to like matter a little bit in terms of like what you're trying to do in that situation. But I think broadly, yeah, you would probably be like acting as an agent of like Nazism, right? And I don't think it would be reasonable to call you a Nazi, but I think it would be reasonable to call you out for facilitating like Nazism or whatever. Like, I think that would be the take. I don't think it would be reasonable to specifically call you a Nazi because there's no indication there that you like.
My Discord.
Like I said, it gets very grey when you start putting in degrees of separation. It starts getting very grey. It's more about like what actions do people take that indicate their beliefs or indicate like what they're trying to achieve or whatever. Yeah.
Mind if I just ask a question? Real quick.
Yeah.
As long as Viv's comfortable, I want to avoid dogpiling. Okay, so as long as Viv's comfortable going backwards and forwards, yeah. Okay.
Like the only thing that I'm wondering, and it's I guess it's visible in the link that Destiny posted, but it's also kind of relevant to like the screenshot of the fascist thing where you said like the fascists are getting a platform on Twitch or whatever. Is that when you post stuff like that, you might not think, okay, this does not implicate Destiny. But I think what sort of feels
I mean, it definitely does, like, kind of implicate Destiny.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, do you think that the people who are looking at that, like looking at the tweet and the things that you posted, do you think that they might think it applies to Destiny? And that's, I think, maybe the issue is.
Every drama applies to Destiny.
Every tweet that I fucking make. Actually, no, that's not true. It's not every tweet that I make, but so many tweets that I make I have people coming into my fucking mentions going, "Oh, why are you fucking subtweeting Destiny or whatever?" Right? Like this happens so fucking often,
We should just
and it can
all
be
stay
about.
off Twitter.
It can
That's
be
what we
about.
should do.
Block 'em.
That's
It can be
how
about
we get rid
something
of toxicity in the
completely
community.
removed.
We just get off. Okay, nobody tweets ever again.
Right.
It is banned.
It can be about something that has like nothing even to do with the Twitch community, and I will have people in my mentions going like, "Why are you subtweeting Destiny?" Like the people who watch Destiny are so fucking caught up in this stupid, like just innate interpersonal dramas and shit in Twitch that they just like tie everything back to their parasocial daddy, and they're fucking like. Honestly,
I feel like that's every big community, though.
Touch grass has never been a. Well, no, I don't think it is. Right? I don't think that like because I don't have Justin Bieber fans coming into my fucking mentions.
Well, every big Twitch politics community is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, hold on.
It's a type of mentality that we sort of foster.
Yeah, I think Zonia might be really hitting at something here. If you think about, like, if we take it away from Destiny, even, you can look at, like, some of the creative ways people were sniping out of Sun, right? They didn't tweet anything about a Sun, but they would just be like, man, I really like my 3,000 square foot mansion. It's like, oh, okay, you know? And it's like, oh, you know, are we terminally on? But no, hold on, just to bring it back, because to say that like everybody's deranged, because there are absolutely people that get it wrong, but there's quite a bit of weird sniping that does happen of people, you know, of like Destiny when it comes to like there'll be people who just talk about like for instance their kids and how much time they need to spend with their kids, and they'll be trying to subtweet them right in that way. So there are absolutely people that really underhandedly try and like dog whistle digs.
I think Dusty's trying to get back in. He's in the green room again.
Well, the issue is when you engage in the broader community like this, and this is like what other people see and what other people feel like. Then when you engage in those specific behaviors as well, I think that's
Wait, hold on. I just real quick. Okay, just to set the facts straight. God, Vivian, you're such a fucking coward. I don't know how you can simultaneously brag about confronting people in the streets, and you've called me out by name multiple times on your Twitter. You were talking about getting politically provoked banned while Destiny was debating them on Twitter. I don't know if you try to misspell my name so I can't find it, but like I can post tweets. Why do you deny that you're like trying to call me out specifically?
Sorry, you're saying you're saying I deliberately misspelled my name so that
Stop! Don't focus on the one thing, Viv. Stop trying to say, I don't know why people are implicating their I don't know why people are implicating their parasocial daddy. It's because you call me out by name, literally. What are you talking about?
I probably have called you out by name on some things, right? But like, it's pretty fucking rare, dude. Like, I spend very little fucking time thinking about you.
Who is the largest progressive person on this platform that debates fascists?
That's
probably you. Maybe
so when you say a progressive person that debates fascists needs to be banned, and you just finally admitted, because I'm in here to hold you to account to it, that you've called me out personally in the past, who do you think 99% of people reading that tweet are going to think that that's implying?
I don't expect the vast majority of Destiny fans to be like following me, right?
Why can't you just engage with the question? I'm sorry, wait. Do you think you have a ton of fans that don't know anything about me at all? Do you think that like when you go on Twitter and you tweet like, oh, like 80% of these people have never even heard of me before?
Oh no.
I mean, I only have a following of about 2,500, so like on Twitter. So like maybe half.
Why can't you just give like this easy one? Like
she can't answer any question. She's not a fucking coward.
Let me jump in real quick.
I mean, if all you want to do is like come in and fucking scream like and try and get gotchas, then feel free.
I'm not trying to get gotchas. I just want to make sure that when I'm engaging with you, I can't have you escape with a reputation intact when you are the most snake-like, cowardly fuck that has ever been in any of these rooms. What do you come on what? Shut the fuck up. It's true. Like everybody knows what you're implying with your tweets. It's only when somebody pushes you, it's like, okay, yeah, that applies to you. Okay, yeah, I did mention it one time. Okay, yeah, I guess it's that you finally like, okay, yeah, you will not own the implication. You have no conviction behind anything you say. Like you act like you're brave in the streets against fascists, and you hide from them at home on your fucking Discord account. It's unreal, Vivian.
I have complete fucking conviction behind everything that I fucking say. Right? I've fucking argued with you for fucking hours about like how I think you fucking like engaging with fascists or like allowing fascists to be fucking.
Stop saying so much and saying so little. You do this so much. Stop rambling.
Give me a chance to say
stop saying so little and implying so fucking much. Then,
but that's what. Vivian, 99% of people would agree with my take that when you are calling out my name at some point,
I don't care
and then
about
when
your appeal to authority.
It's not my. Hold on. My appeal to authority, appealing to.
Majority, rather.
Appeal to majority is kind of all that matters when we're talking about giving public opinions to the majority of people. You understand that, right?
Okay, look. What's your point?
My point is to at least have some conviction when I say like, hey, you've called for me to be deplatformed, right? Say, you know what? Yeah, Destiny, I think that you've engaged in some irresponsible platforming fascists, and I do think there are times when you should be deplatformed. At least say that. So that I can have a conversation about it and say like, oh, well, when I said progressives that debate left-leaning people, that debate fascists, I wasn't talking about you, Destiny. I meant all the other progressives on the platform that debate fascists, but not you, even though I've specifically called you and Lauren Southern and the streams you've been out on by name. I wasn't talking about you with that one tweet because you're confronting me about it now and I don't really want to own that conviction.
I meant Brittany, who had recently claimed to be a fucking progressive, Destiny. That's who I was thinking of when I fucking wrote the tweet, okay? It was very poorly fucking... It was very fucking...
You were talking about Brittany when you mentioned even progressives in that tweet.
No, I was talking about Brittany, the host of Politically Provoked.
You okay?
Yes. So
I don't.
So you know what? I'll take you at your word. This is the best piece of life advice I have for you. Stop tweeting because you're a shit writer. You can't convey any idea coherently. You have no idea who the fuck your audience is. You just shouldn't be tweeting, Viv, because you're lost.
My audience
you're like a
is not
child in
your-
a cornfield.
my
You're
audience
absolutely
is not
lost
your
out here. Okay, you're not
okay,
tall
I'm
enough to
very-
see where the fuck you're
okay.
going. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So hang on.
My
let me
audience
just
is not
jump
your
in and say
fucking.
something.
My audience is not your fucking audience, Destiny. I would really like it if everybody who fucking follows you just fucks off, okay? Because 90% of the people who follow you are fucking so dumb, okay? So deranged,
that's a bit harsh.
so caught up in your fucking stupid dramas with various fucking streamers that I do not care about. Okay?
Get a blacklist.
I believe me, I've been blocking them like fucking flies, okay? But like I do not care about those stupid fucking interpersonal dramas or whatever, right? Here's the thing, right? We had a relatively fucking cordial relationship.
You're not my real mom.
Okay? If you ever had any fucking qualms about something that I'd said, you could come to me and ask me to fucking clarify.
I mean, I'm in my own Twitter beef today, so I second.
Like,
I agree with
I'm perfectly happy to openly tell you whatever. And if you had significant problems and thought that fucking thing implicated you, which I can completely reasonably see how you think it might have done, right? Like, I would have gone, yeah, shit. You know what? I actually don't agree that we should be like running around trying to fucking deplatform Destiny because one, is probably a waste of time. Two, he's not a particularly good fucking target when there's actual fucking fascists on the platform, right? Like we can spend our energy on that shit before we start trying to deplatform random libs who are just fucking like.
Wait, Viv. Are you actually saying that if those two things weren't happening, that it would be okay to deplatform Destiny?
What? I mean,
no, she's not saying anything. She won't say anything. She talks so much and says so little. I don't know how. She has no conviction behind anything she says.
Okay,
she'll get on Twitter and she'll say some shit like, "We need to deplatform Soda Poppin'," and I'll be like, "Yo, why do you want to deplatform Soda Poppin'? What did he do?" And you'll be like, "No, Destiny, I had a really bad experience with a Diet Coke and some Chinese packaging material, and that's what I was talking about. Okay, popping bubbles with soda. It had nothing to do with it. Why do you even think I was talking about that streamer? Like, unironically, it's the most deranged fucking shit I've ever heard in my entire life."
He's making an analogy, but look,
I don't
this is something.
An analogy.
This is something I'm going
ranting like an idiot at this point.
This
Like,
is something. Look, hang on,
I don't
Viv,
care about your dumb fuck sophistry.
Viv,
if you want to have a conversation with me,
actually, I'm rubber, you're glue, and anything you say bounces off me and it's expect you.
Yeah, I've noticed that, right? That we've got to the playground level of fucking rhetoric. If you're fucking like so.
If we're on the playground, Vivian, it's only because you were screaming at me from out there for me to come and join you. Okay.
Look, Viv,
if we were on the playground, I'd just fucking headbutt you and walk away. Okay.
All right. What's
this shit?
That was a violent threat.
If
I made that threat, she would.
We need to bring it down in here. We need some moderation.
It's making Twitch unsafe for Destiny and trans people.
Why is it? Wait. Shut up.
No actual serious
conversation. I'm trying to play fucking Halo. Shut the fuck up. I'm trying to play Halo. I don't have to start muting people because then I have to stop playing. Okay.
Is that what you're trying to do?
Interrupt my fucking gaming time. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay. Right. Zonya wants to say something. Go on, Zonya.
Okay,
please
so
bring this back to some normality.
This is it does have rippling effects when we go and we vague post and subtweet, especially because there are big popular names. Not everybody's paying attention to the exact same ones. Most people, what they're going to do is they're going to connect it to the one that is most relevant to them. And one of the things that I have definitely witnessed happen with Destiny, I've also witnessed it happen with Dylan and with other people, is when somebody who has enough of a following to get retweeted and they say some shit that's vague posting that could easily be attached to Destiny, what happens is, like, for instance, Bad Bunny and her community pick up on it, amplify it, and then it gets picked up by a bunch of people who also have a beef with Destiny, and then they turn on him. And I've seen the same thing happen to Vosh. I've seen it happen to Dylan.
Nobody
I've seen it
here
happen
is
to
vegetarian.
Demon Mama. I've seen it happen to a lot of people.
I prefer chicken
so
personally, but like,
and the more followers you have, 2,000 may not be a lot, but the more that you have, the more likely it is to get amplified by people through retweets. Like if I tweet something, it's pretty much guaranteed it's going to get retweeted by, like, my friend Stardust, right? And she's got a few thousand followers as well. So this is something that just is going to happen. And it's demonstrable, the actual rippling effect and backlash it has, or not backlash, the attacking kind of power that it has on these different creators. So this is something I think all of us need to be aware of. And I think, like, even I get that you, Destiny, will want to retaliate or respond and address it, but this is something we're all guilty of doing, and I think we need to stop doing it. I think maybe we should either get way more direct with talking to each other, or just not say anything.
I mean, just like, I mean, I've always said, if you have a problem with something I've said, you can fucking come to me and fucking ask about it, right?
We're asking right now.
And I will genuinely fucking tell you my views, because I am fucking open and honest about my views, contrary to what Destiny wants to fucking say. Okay, like, if you want to know my fucking opinion on something, I'll fucking tell you my opinion on something, provided it's not TOS, right?
I'm gonna end up having to peace out with this, you know, because I actually feel like shit. I feel like fucking shit. I feel like I've actually been dragged through 20 hedges. Face first. Which sounds quite painful. Don't have COVID though. At least this test is saying I don't. The pain. Hey, do not include me in this mess. I'm quiet, okay? Me and Zonia, we disavow this.
We're going to relevance our position on this one.
Look, here's the reality, okay? This has got past the point of productivity, but I don't care about that because we're having a good time, okay? I am anyway. And Viv, I'm sorry, it feels like you're getting dogpiled. I'm doing my best to control it, but it's like a bunch of fucking wild fucking wolves in here, okay? They want to take a little bite out of you. So I'm doing my best to hold back the force, okay? So, what I want to ask is, where do we go from here? What's going to happen next? Who's going to speak now?
Well, let's all try not to be dicks and shady as fuck.
Being dicks is good because then people fight and that, you know, people like that. Being dicks is fine, but like
let's
try and keep it in a
beef is money, my friend. Beef is money. This platform, for fuck's sake. I mean, everyone should just be a bit clearer with what they're saying, and this is me included too, because I can be like, I think we're all quite quick to just chat shit, and it's not worth it, and then it ends up having like getting just more and more aggressive, and we're fucking shouting at each other and getting really fucking personal about stuff when it's just totally unnecessary. And everybody is just so quick to want to like jump on stuff and engage in an argument, even if something's not even about you. You might think it is because you're already amped up about something, and it's like not helpful to anybody, because then you're just going to jump on it, and then everybody in your community is going to be like, oh well, they started it, so it's okay for me to go over there, and vice versa. Like, it's not helpful for anybody to go on like this. Like, at the end of the day, Twitter just causes so much shit for everybody, and as I say, me included, like, I fucking tweet shady shit, and then like that blows up in my stupid face, like fucking Jez from Peep Show, and it's like a waste of everybody's time. Realistically, if we could all just put this energy into something a bit more productive and, I don't know, like consequential, like real political work.
I think fighting on Twitter is fine. Real quick, fighting on Twitter is fine and fun. Okay, shitting on people is fine and fun. I have no problem with that. I don't think most of us should have a problem with that. If we want to shit post a little bit on Twitter, be mean to people, whatever. The problem I have is the cry bullying. Just don't engage in it, and then like act like you're undergoing fucking trauma when other people engage back with you. That's all I want to say. If you don't want to be involved in anything, that's fine. But then don't like jump into these communities and like shit sling if you're scared of getting a little bit on your face.
So I make one tweet, right, which you attribute to you. Okay, you don't come and ask me for any clarification, regardless of like the cordial relationship that we've had before, and you decide.
I have a strict policy, Viv. I do not.
The best way to react is to declare me a fucking terrorist, right?
Yeah. So Viv, if you say something, this is my policy for how I deal with streamers. Okay, if you make it public, I'm gonna keep it public. Okay, if you say some dumb shit about me that every single motherfucker reads and takes it about me publicly, I'm not going to you privately to resolve that. I'm gonna fire something back at you.
You don't need to go privately. You can fucking ask. Jesus.
What do you ask? Like, what?
Are you saying I should be deplatformed? You could have fucking asked that.
I don't need to ask you. That's already what you've communicated to everybody in your follower list. I don't need to. It doesn't matter what you're.
Everybody in my follower list, right, does not necessarily think of you the first time. Like every time I tweet, okay, like. I operate in like circles that have fuck all to do with fucking Twitch politics. A large amount of my fucking followers come from like the cult research community on fucking Twitter and other places, right? Like, not everybody is thinking of you. And if
why not make two
why that doesn't matter.
Why not just make two different accounts then? Make one that where you only do the cult stuff or whatever you do, and then make a different one for politics. So there's not an intermingling of the communities. So that when you keep putting your foot in your mouth over and over and over again because you somehow accidentally tweet something that perfectly lines up with so that it perfectly lines up with other people, you'd be like, oh, well, actually, I'll just use my other Twitter account. The three examples I've already given are enough to crucify you. I'm not going to provide more.
What are the other two beyond the first one that you're talking about?
Viv, I'm not letting you pivot away from what you've already denied.
I'm not pivoting away. You literally just said there were three. You just said there were three examples, and like I only heard you bring up one.
You tweeted out about the politically provoked show that I was on. You specifically mentioned my name there, and then you quote tweeted yourself, and I don't know if you're implying that people should report my audience or report me, I'm not sure, okay? And then you specifically said, I might have to report some friends or whatever, and some progressives, because they platform fascists, and that's really bad, and blah, blah, blah. And then there was one other one you made about progressives platforming people or some shit. I don't remember the third one. But like, if you want, I can spend a day digging, if you'll pay me money for it, we'll make a $500 bet or a $15 bet if you want to be friendly, on like digging through your Twitter and finding all the dumb shit. I hate how how fucking spineless you are. Holy shit, you're such a fucking coward. I don't know why you won't just own the have conviction behind what you say.
And this is
like, are we gonna pretend that like you've never tweeted shit like this before? Because I don't have every fucking tweet. Like, I've already given you like 2 or 3 really good examples of like this is what you do.
I mean, you haven't given me 3 examples. You haven't even given me 2. Like, you've given me 1, which is fine, right? Like, I'm just like, if you say you've given me 3 examples and I can't recall the 3 examples.
I think it's the implication of this tweet. If you want to do some positive anti-fascist work in response, Destiny's having a debate on the politically provoked YouTube channel tonight. Their roster for the week includes combos on the Jewish question and America First. If you want to do something positive in response to the harassment campaign from Destiny's deranged fan base, What is the implication here?
The implication is go and report the fucking politically provoked channel. I literally don't.
But not me, who's having a conversation with them on my stream.
No,
Viv, why mention the deranged
I was
fan
saying,
base
hang
then?
on.
Why mention the deranged fan base?
Because they're deranged because his deranged fan base was in the middle of fucking harassing me.
But this goes back to what I was saying,
my
Viv,
followers
is
were
that
like worried about me because it was fucking garbage. I had to shut everything down.
But this is what goes back to what I was saying, Viv, is that when you say things that can be tied to destiny, even if you don't intend it to actually create a storm against him, it's going to, because others who have beef with him will make the connection, and they're going to amplify that message, and they're going to put their own audiences to it.
Hey, you know what? Maybe there is some fucking connection that needs to be drawn between like Destiny's fucking rhetoric and essentializing of people as like being fundamentally fucking bad or like unhinged or deranged or like mentally ill or whatever.
So now you're saying something different. So that's something that we can work with.
Holy shit. Like maybe there is some connection that needs to be drawn between that shit and like holding people to account for the specific kind of fucking rhetoric that they use.
Okay,
but like,
fair.
I'm sure people could hold me to account for that specific fucking rhetoric as well, right? And we can actually have a fucking conversation about that.
Right now, and you won't own it.
That would be a massive fucking double standard, wouldn't it?
The people in it that I presume we're going to be more siding with Viv are also jumping on Viv as well. So can we please cut that shit out? Fuck.
I'm trying to be as charitable as I can when I do this.
No, that's fine. I just, and you pragmatic leftists as well. What the fuck are you doing? Why are you jumping on Viv as well? You're supposed to be my fucking leftoid, representation.
I'm not gonna
Cut that shit out.
Also, you're supposed to be
like the reason why she's 1v8ing is because like her percentage like is bad.
Okay, look, right? We can totally fucking like take this down and just go. What is my position that is bad, and what do you actually fucking want?
You advocate for the deplatforming, it seems, of anybody that even talks to a fascist on stream. So when we talk, I think it would be interesting for you to at least say, yeah, Destiny, I think you should be deplatformed. And then we have an argument about that point. But instead...
I'm not doing a PhD, I'm doing indefinite suffering on Twitch instead.
So we've got the actual claim, and now you're just doing some sophistry. So you want me to say outright, right? That I think that people who platform fascists in any way should be.
You've said that. You've already said that outright. I just wish you would defend that in a conversation.
I think that platforming fascists is bad, right?
That's not what you said.
I think the platforming fascists is bad. We've had.
If you want to do something positive in response to the harassment campaign from Destiny's deranged fan base,
for God's sake,
just defend your positions.
Boring. Oh my God! You try. I'm literally trying to like put forward into that.
Hans, please, I'm begging you, bro. Come on.
This is very boring, dude. Holy fucking shit.
Come on,
bro. Yeah, I think platforming fascists is bad, right? I've had these conversations.
That's not what you said. Every time you say that, I'm going to interrupt you. I'm going to start screaming.
No, because it requires me saying it to construct the fucking argument that you want me to make. Okay?
Well, no, it's the argument you've already tweeted. If you platform fascists, you should be deplatformed. That's what you've said.
All right, let's let Viv speak for a bit, okay, and see what comes out. Everyone chill out, all right? Getting a bit too hungry up in this fucking place. Let's chill. Right, Viv, go ahead.
Hey, Chud.
It's all good.
Hey, Chud. At one point, I also want to kind of speak up and clarify something that Viv noticed in chat with me earlier.
Of course, that's fine. Right, Viv, go ahead. Everyone chill out.
Okay.
I'm holding you back.
I put really simply, if your goal is deplatforming fascists, right, there has been a continuous fucking argument about whether or not, or when, or if, or whatever, it's okay to platform or debate fascists, right? On this platform.
On another level.
I don't see us ever getting to a fucking
like
point where, large streamers like fucking Destiny or whatever, like,
Honestly,
agree that it's not okay to platform fascists.
I would have literally gone.
If you want to deplatform
I don't need
fascists
that shit.
from all fucking
jumping
avenues
on
of
me.
Twitch, then you're gonna have to fucking try.
Fair
and
enough, Destiny's got
Destiny.
beef with it, and like actually
I don't think
substantial
that's
beef,
even
but
fucking
like
feasible to try and do currently.
you don't gotta
But
ride
if that's
Destiny's
what you
dick
want to
so
fucking
hard
do,
that like
then
you
that's
gotta
what you'd
fucking
have
yes
to do.
man the guy.
Because
Like
Destiny
he can
will
hold his
continue to
own
platform
shit.
these people,
It's all
and
good.
I don't think he'd disagree with that assessment.
Do you agree that you have personally advocated for reporting streams like mine and mine, and that you think it would be a good thing to do, and that you yourself would do it?
I already answered this to you, right? Like, this is a poorly worded tweet. I was advocating specifically for like reporting the politically provoked channel. I understand how it could be taken in that fashion, and I
Wait,
understand
okay. Who were you friends with on the politically provoked channel?
I was friendly.
Not friendly, friends. Were you friends with Brittany?
No.
Okay. The next tweet is, "This may lead to me reporting friends." Can you tell me which friends you were referring to?
Yeah, I was thinking about Prime Guys at that point.
You would report Prime Guys over me?
I was.
Vivian, are you fucking serious right now? What the fuck?
And I would probably end up reporting you.
Thank you. Oh my god. Do you feel the weight come off your chest when you finally admitted that? When you finally say that? Does it feel
yeah,
good?
that's where that reasoning leads. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Cool.
Okay,
okay.
I think we've all had our fun with the deplatforming stuff. Okay, let's cut the deplatforming. Let's put it away. Put it in our pocket. Okay.
This is like the sectioning meme in fucking Peep Show. It's like we've had today.
Whatever. I literally regretted that tweet and fucking ended up deleting it, right? Like, I don't see a point in trying to fucking waste our energy trying to fucking deplatform Destiny. I don't think it's gonna fucking work. I don't think it's gonna fucking happen. Right, I think he's going to continue fucking deplatforming fascists, and I think that's bad. And I don't
you
think
tweeted this like 5 days ago. Streamers you watch that you will see supporting them if they interact with this channel, politically provoked. It only works if the community actually cares about keeping Nazis out, which I'm pretty doomer-pilled on. Yeah. But if you care about this, then this is what you do. Nothing else works. You either deplatform them, or you help them grow. There is no way to debate fascists without providing them aid. So you still believe this. It's not a bad tweet that you made and then you deleted it because you felt you still believe this, or at least 5 days ago you did. You cannot debate a fascist for only providing them aid.
Yeah, but I mean, literally in that tweet, I'm saying I'm completely doom-pilled on this. I don't think that we'll be able to achieve it, right? Also, like I've said multiple times in this conversation, I don't think it's worth trying to fucking deplatform you in any meaningful way. I don't think there's like enough people that would want to do it, right? And if like the people who want to deplatform fascists, I think you could do a lot better by like going directly.
I'm not talking about doing better. I'm not talking. Okay, stop. Your spine is leaving your body in real time.
I'm not being spineless. I'm saying that
you still.
I'm going to say what you want me to say, Destiny.
No, you tried to caveat. You're saying, well, I deleted that tweet. Okay, I deleted that tweet. Okay, but that's not what you're talking about. There are other tweets you left up that you didn't delete, where people specifically asked you, "Are you going to report Destiny stream and cut ties with him when he does this, having debates with fascists?" And you literally said, "I don't want to cut ties with anyone, but yes, I will report the channel. If he cuts ties with me, then that's his choice. So don't act like, oh, it was just one tweet. Oh, I just regret it, blah, 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 blah. Like, just own it.
It was all on the same day. And like, fucking hell. Like I said to you, right, so somebody else brought you up in my fucking mentions, right? And I said, yeah, that's basically where the reasoning goes, and it fucking sucks, right? I'm saying now, I can hear myself back. I don't know who the fuck that is. I'm saying now I don't think there's like enough impetus to like, even be able to fucking do that with your channel, right?
Wait, what is this fucking? Well, I would say deplatform it, but I can't even really do it. So
I'm literally about to say the thing that you want me to say, right? If you can stop fucking memeing for half a fucking second, I think it would be. I think it would be. Well, I mean, why have it then? Anyway. I think if you're, I think it would be a moral and good thing to deplatform you. I don't think it would be effective. I don't think it's going to fucking happen.
Okay, let me jump in here.
Can I jump in? Because I literally can't get a word in either, Zonia, sorry. Why don't, okay, I disagree with Viv, okay? And I think, there is definitely some shade going on Twitter, but, Destiny, why don't you just, rise above it, block her, and let it be. You're an adult too. Just fucking leave it.
Because you guys.
But I'm not part of you guys, so don't put me in there. I don't have beef for you. I'm not subtweeting you.
When you start making excuses for this behavior, you become part of you guys. So you've joined the crowd. Okay.
I'm not making excuses for it. I'm saying it's a separate thing. You can just leave it. Like her behavior is one thing. Your behavior, your response to it is a separate thing.
Stochastic terrorism, okay?
Vivian, only one of us here brags about a list that we've had that we add people to. Okay, so
yeah.
Slow down.
Wait.
Not the fucking list. Anything but the fucking list.
Hey, wait. That's trademarked by me. Don't use that unless you're gonna pay me. What?
That's a straight up lie.
That is a lie.
Yes, it is. That I brag about a list is a fucking lie.
Viv, don't we all watched the debate. Don't make me drag Nubian here, okay?
Yeah, we watched the fucking debate.
Viv,
right?
Stop. Viv, you're posting cringe. Viv.
Shut the fuck up, Destiny.
What's going on with this list? I want to hear what
the list doesn't exist, or the list may have existed in the past, but it doesn't exist anymore.
We've all seen
like Schindler's List.
Yeah, exactly. Like
you're not on the list. You're
not interested.
The first rule of the list is you don't talk about the list.
This just demonstrates that you're not interested in honesty at all, right?
She says after taking 2 hours to admit to the first fucking question that I asked you.
I literally just said, like, that's where the reasoning fucking takes me. Yeah.
Finally.
Like,
okay.
So whatever.
Wait, real quick. I just want to respond to Queen Janie.
But if you want to do the fucking,
I didn't want to interrupt.
Hello?
If you want to do the fucking whataboutism, right? Like the fucking list meme just shows that you're not interested in like being honest at all.
True.
Right? You know that I don't have
a she's still
going. You know that I didn't brag about having a list that I'm putting people on, right?
Nice.
You know that.
Okay.
Right?
I don't have COVID, so that's something.
Is that true or
okay, congratulations. Okay.
Thanks.
So the problem that I have, the reason why, well, okay, I'm just responding to Queen, and I'll shut the fuck up. You guys don't all talk. Okay, the reason why I can't just quote unquote rise above it is because these people like are toxically influencing every fucking conversation that I have, and then if it doesn't affect me, then they'll branch out and they'll try to like attack or destroy the people that are peripheral to me. So if I have a conversation with somebody and people don't like it, they'll relentlessly direct a whole bunch of bullshit to me on Twitter by tweeting about how I'm a pedophile or pedophile supporter or a Nazi or fascist or whatever, or I'm on the list or whatever bullshit. And then afterwards, if that doesn't work on me, then they'll start going after anybody that is like friends with me. So if Irrelevant is covering something, or if Hans is covering somebody, or if any other else, then the people are like, oh, these guys are all supporting pedophilia or fascism too. So even if it doesn't affect me, it will blow back onto other people that are like in my sphere of influence, or that are peripheral to me, or that are like siding, I guess, on a similar side with me politically on some things. So that's why I kind of have to, I can't just ignore it, because these people are real. Unfortunately, they have some level of like power to organize and harass people online, and I feel like I have some kind of responsibility in responding to it. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, so I assume the people who
no, please, come on.
I'm sorry, Zonia, but I like kind of need to respond, otherwise I'm not gonna like be able to have a back and forth here. I mean,
okay,
I get that.
Zonia, go.
Huh? Can I go?
Go. Yes, okay. Go. Speak.
Jesus, sorry. Fucking hell. I understand that, but I also think that the audiences that you guys, a lot of the bigger streamers, maybe like if it was about you having a conversation with someone who's smaller, and like I think it's so incremental, the harm that Vivian's community can do to a huge community like you or Has or whatever else, like these big streamers that get like
Janie, what about like a smaller streamer like me? Who if I get attacked, like how much smaller?
Well, to be fair, you dig your own grave. You dig your own grave. You don't need Destiny to do that.
Sure thing. So like, how much bigger does someone have to be before you're not allowed to respond to them anymore?
I'd say like much bigger than Vivian. Significantly bigger. I mean, I can't put a number on it, but like, let's be honest. I think we all know relatively, like, if Vivian's community, she's got like, what did she say, like 2,500 followers on Twitter. How many of those people are going to see a subtweet and then respond to that?
Not even that, honestly. 2,200 and something.
Like, how many of those people are going to be actively like going out of their way to disrupt somebody else's community? It's going to be like pretty small.
I mean, basically none of them, like, considering the vast majority of them just don't even have anything to do with Twitch politics.
Okay. It's like not even worth getting down into the weeds with. It's like pointless.
Okay, so Viv, I'm trying to not help dogpile you. I'm trying to be as charitable as I can. But, okay, so you said that you personally are not advocating for Destiny being deplatformed, but logically,
now?
You do come to that conclusion that it would be
morally
good to deplatform Destiny. And then we also go back to what I was
saying.
Tell
me if I'm being irritable.
About... hold on. No, you don't need to clarify. I get where you're coming from. Now we also go back to what I was saying before.
I'm good.
Where I demonstrated that
you are my mod though.
having
To be
these
fair, I
kinds
feel
of
like you're
vague
going to
posts
co-sponsor
that
me.
can easily be tied to Destiny do have reverberations, and more as more and more people retweet it, it gets to bigger communities, and they end up dogpiling him, and that can turn into mass reporting. Now, what I'd kind of like to get down to, I'd like to drill down to again, sort of like demonstrating harm versus benefit, and I would argue that Destiny, though having some very toxic contributions to discourse, I think that can be demonstrated, has done more benefit to the overall community as well as IRL politics than he has done
Second that.
harm.
I second that.
So I would say that if you logically move to if the logical conclusion of your position would be to deplatform him, and you're doing this vague posting that ripples out, that can easily turn into mass reporting and brigading of Destiny that could take him off, I would say that would be more harmful.
Sure.
What is your thought on that? Like, would you adjust your moral lens then, or what?
I think we should deplatform fascists, and I don't think we're going to be able to do that without deplatforming the people who consistently fucking platform fascists. I don't hold any hope for it fucking happening. However, but yeah, that is the logical extension of my position, and it depends really like what you care about, right? You say Destiny's done more good than bad.
I
think
very mature
maybe overall
audience.
you're probably right.
I have
right. But it really depends on like
it.
what you actually specifically care about. If you specifically care about like combating fascism in online spaces and stuff, and you see that as like the biggest problem, then there's.
Let me plug myself real quickly. If you are new around here, please do follow. You can also go ahead and subscribe. It helps the channel out. It helps me out financially. It does me a solid, or whatever the term is. You can also go ahead and give me your Prime subscription. I'll look after it for a month. I promise I won't give it away to anybody else, and Jeff will not have it. Alternatively, you can donate on a one-off to my Streamlabs, the money for which will go to me, not Jeff, again. So, fuck that capitalism or Amazon or whatever, even though I got like Amazon gift vouchers for Christmas, but still. Thanks, guys.
What's the question?
Are you interested? Zonia asking.
Would you be interested in actually just having more private, like one-on-one dialogue with Vivian, based on everything that just happened over the past 3 minutes?
No, why the fuck would I care?
Yeah.
Because you've got a very hostile relationship with Viv, and you end up jumping
because I fucking
onto
hate her. Of course I do. What do you mean?
Wait,
but the thing is, she doesn't technically have a personal beef with you.
I don't care if she has a personal. Hitler doesn't have a personal beef with me. I'm not Jewish. I would still hate him too. What do you mean?
Yeah, but the thing is that I think that
it's active beef
I've talked with
like just letting it die, like letting it just be done with.
Yeah, like you guys can
basically Destiny's.
Yeah,
you guys can basically clear this shit up.
The only time I'm interacting with Vivian is usually when she's tweeting, talking shit about me.
Yeah, well, she needs to keep.
Okay, I'm fine letting it die. I'm fine letting it die. Okay, you let it die. I'll let it die.
Vivian, no more tweets
I need
about
to go.
Destiny. No more subtweets. Just leave it. Just drop it. Yeah, leave it out. Okay.
If I tweet anything, it's not about Destiny.
You can talk about me instead. I don't care.
But you got to avoid that vague posting that can very easily be tied to
no
him.
No shade, okay?
Sure. Okay. Sure.
Hashtag not about Destiny every time you tweet.
All right. I need to go.
Gonna last.
Dude, this is going to go down in history.
This is now written into law. The time the war was ended.
Okay, right, I think we're done. I think we're done. Like, I mean, I'm gonna bounce unless anyone's got anything else to add.
I don't think you should bounce. I think Chud deserves a hype train. What the fuck? Come on, guys.
Yeah, subscribe to Chud.
Get your fucking wallets out right now.
Some bits, some subs. Come on, guys.
But yeah, I mean,
this moment
I think
went down in history.
Yeah. I don't know. Anything else anyone wants to say?
Yeah, shall I?
On Twitch. Got a sub.
Yeah, if you want to shout themselves out, please do. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm debating Kevin Logan at 6 and whether I'm a grifter. That's going to be fun.
I love Kevin.
Go on.
Obama.
Okay.
Zonia dead. at Twitch, and getting
Zone
back
is
into
based.
streaming. Thanks. I'm getting back into streaming these days, so you'll probably see a lot more of me in the coming days.
Okay.
Okay.
Iconic.
And,
Right. Thanks a lot,
See
everyone.
ya. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, shit. And then there were 3.
Yeah. Then there
Fuck
was
both of
Destiny, I
you
hope
for
it's
covering Viv.
I like you, Destiny. I
Fuck
like
both
you.
of you.
Come
Fuck
on.
both of you.
Fuck
Okay,
you.
you try
come
to
on.
you run. All of you fucking run damage control for these crazy motherfuckers. Okay.
Oh, come on, Destiny. That's uncharitable.
I mean, I'm like friendly with Vivian, but I'm not excusing her behavior. Like, I'm not doing that. Don't get it twisted. It's hard, right? It's really hard when you're in these rooms and it's like 1v9. I don't want everyone to just be shouting at her. And like when you're having a back and forth with that, that's one thing. But when everyone's jumping on to yes man you because you're like a big streamer, then it's a bit fucked. And I feel like she deserves a little bit more like backup. I don't.
I
second
agree.
That points,
In principle, I agree with you. I think it's really weird. I think it's really cringe when there's huge dog piles. But Vivian brings it on herself so much. She's so fucking
like,
inflammatory. There's so many people all the fucking time.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. I think she needs to keep like your name out of her mouth, and also all the subtweeting and all the petty bullshit just needs to be dropped. But I also think that like adding fuel to the fire when people are like shouting and just calling her unhinged and stuff isn't really helping anyone. It's just making more fucking drama and just creating a more toxic environment for everyone. It's like so pointless.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that anyone who believes you should be deplatformed can be taken seriously on that point. I think that was when I think I started to change my position, because I think that's just a very indefensible position to take, you know?
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Have fun, both of you. I love both of you. I don't hate
Okay.
either of you. So,
Okay, we
no,
like
Okay.
it.
Well, I mean, I might.